What if your AI agent could instantly access the information stored across your SharePoint sites and company documents? Instead of giving generic answers, your Copilot agent could respond using real organizational knowledge. Hello everyone and welcome to Copilot A to Z Academy. In this tutorial, we will learn how to add a SharePoint site as knowledge source in our Microsoft Copilot Studio. This allows your AI agent to retrieve information directly from SharePoint documents and sites when responding to the user questions. We will understand the SharePoint permissions on the documents and test the agent. So let's begin. So let's open any of your browser and start by logging to the Copilot Studio. We will navigate to copilotstudio.microsoft.com and sign in using our credentials. So once we will log in successfully, we will be redirected to the Copilot Studio dashboard where we can create and manage our agents. So this is the home page for Copilot Studio. Now on the top right corner, you can see the account Copilot Studio that I have created for the demo purpose. This is the environment. We are using the default Microsoft default environment. So let's click on the agent section from the left hand side and it will show up all the agents that are available that we have already created. On the very top, you can see our previous agent, Hello World agent that we have already created. Let's make the changes here in this particular agent. So this is our agent that we had created in our first video, Hello World agent. We have given a small description for this agent named as Hello World, and you can see the model that we have selected was 4.1 GPT model, and we had added few lines of instructions as well that you can see here. So for most of the organization, SharePoint is one of the major data source from where everyone keeps their information that can be easily shared with everyone. So here you can see the knowledge section. Even in the last video I've shown you that whatever data source we need to add, we can click on the knowledge source and we can add it here. So let me click on add knowledge and let's see what are the connectors available. So here you can see we have multiple connectors basically by which we can integrate our data. So we have the SharePoint which we need in this particular video. Now to add the SharePoint URL, we can directly copy and paste the URL or we can browse the item and select the SharePoint. Now I have already created a demo site. Let me show you that. So Microsoft Copilot, this is the demo site where I have added a sample information for testing our agent. So it contains a sample leave policy that we are going to test in our agent. Let me first, so as said that we have two ways to add the URL, either by copy and paste, or if you will click on the browse item, you can select that. Now, let me first try to copy and paste the URL and see if we are able to add it or not. So let me copy this URL. You can use Control C or right click and copy, and then Control V, or we can do a right click and paste that URL. So we get the option to add this URL. Let me click on add. And you have a prompt, but just click on add anyway. So it will be added. You can see the data source has been added. So this is the SharePoint URL. Let me add it to the agent. And it will just take like 30 seconds to add this knowledge source. So this is the only step that needs to be performed to add your SharePoint. It's quite easy. So once you'll see the video, you can easily do it by yourself. Now, let's see, let's try to test our agent with some of the informations available. You can see this is the sample leave policy that I have just downloaded it from the internet. It has informations on the sick leave or the casual leave and other informations. Let me put a prompt to my agent to see and to check if the agent is able to respond back based on this knowledge source. So I've given a prompt and it has started searching for the information. Okay, a fallback. So when the agent is not responding to your query, it is said as a fallback. Now the agent isn't able to search information. However, we already have given the data source for this agent. Now, as I said previously that there are two ways. Now let me try the other way. I have done it intentionally to show you some of the errors or inconsistencies that comes when we add SharePoint by copy and paste the URL. Now let's try alternate way, or I'll say the primary way. You can see the browse item option. Please click on it and you will get the list of all the SharePoints that are available in your organization. So for me, it should not show a lot of, because I've just created it for the demo purpose. I can see my Microsoft Copilot site, the name of the site that I've created. So I'll just try to click on it. This is the name of the site. I'm going to add it. Now let's add this. It is quite simple. You can see once you'll browse the item, you can easily get the data source available and you can add this to our site. Now this is ready. You can see the status. So quite easy. Now we will give a prompt again. So we have put the query and let's see if we are getting the response from the agent. Okay, so again a fallback. You can see the agent has not got the answer. It has not responded as even if it has tried searching for the information. Now you can see the activity tab. So I have done it some intentionally. I'll let you know why. So this is for the troubleshooting step. In real time scenarios, you will come across such kind of issues. Now how to troubleshoot such kind of issues? So you can see on the top it says the activity. Now let me click on the activity and show you what exactly happened with our prompt. Now we'll click on the first and see our prompt, how many sick leaves are there. So this is the prompt that we have given to our agent. And let's see what happened with this prompt. Did the agent tried searching for any informations available? So it shows that yes, the it tried searching for the leave policy. Still it got a failure. So now let me do a refresh, okay? Because sometimes when we change the data source or when we add any of the knowledge sources, it takes some time. But still, let me first check the settings. So I'll create a complete separate video on what are the settings that needs to be enabled and disabled for creating a Copilot agent. That is one of the very important part because it helps in managing the agent and its consistency, its responses. Now I'm just checking few informations if they are correct or not. Just wanted to ensure that the internet knowledge is not turned on or off. So it seems everything is good for me. I'll just quickly check the connection settings. I'll explain this setting part in a complete separate video with each and every tabs. I'll show what are they, if they are required, if not, what needs to be enabled and disabled. Now, as said, let's quickly refresh because everything seems to be correct. So I've refreshed it and I'll give a prompt again. Let's start with the hello. Let's see if our agent has started responding or not. Okay, great. So we can see the agent has responded to hello. Let me give another prompt. Okay, it has started searching. Okay, now we have the answers ready. We could see the response from the agent, and it has given the correct answer. I'll show you that information from the data source. It is showing the citation, that is our data source, the sample leave policy from where it has collected the information. Let's ensure that it has given a correct answer. So the sick leave, total number of sick leave available is 10. So it has given the correct answer. Now let's try one or two more prompts to see if the agent is consistent, is giving us other responses or not. So let me try putting more queries. Let's test with another query and give it another prompt to see if the agent is responding as back or not. So you can see that the agent has responded back with the number of casual leaves that we asked for it. Let's ensure that the answers are correct or not. So we have a document we can confirm. All right, so casual leaves are 5. So you can see that adding SharePoint as a knowledge source is very easy, like a two-step process. Now let now let's quickly discuss about few scenarios where SharePoint permission, how Copilot behaves with different permissions. So in the first scenario, you and your team have access to the same SharePoint site. Because the permissions are aligned, Copilot can summarize, document, answer questions across the file, and even combine information from the multiple documents seamlessly. So this is the first scenario. Now let's take another example, the second scenario. In this second scenario, a file exists in another team's SharePoint site, but you don't have access to it. So in this case, Copilot cannot see the file, cannot summarize it, and won't even hint that even the file that exists. This ensures a complete data security and zero data leakage. So everyone can be ensured that Copilot will save your information. Now this is the third scenario where the file is shared with you through a link. So in this scenario, Copilot can access and use the file only while the time that permission is active. The moment the access is revoked, Copilot immediately loses access as well. So you are sure that your data is safe. All right, so that's all for today's topic. We have covered how to add SharePoint as a knowledge source and how the agent behaves with different permission settings. Hope you have understand the concepts and it will be easy for everyone to work. Now let's see the upcoming videos. So in our next video, we will go beyond the basics. We will break down the differences between generative AI and agentic AI, explore how orchestration connects multiple AI capabilities together, and walk through every important Copilot agent settings inside the Copilot Studio. So by the end of the series, you will not just only be able to build the agent, but you will understand how to design intelligent AI system from your ground up. Please make sure you are subscribed with Copilot A to Z Academy because the next videos are going to take your AI skill to the next level. Thank you so much. Keep watching.